Are you ready for the top 12?
I was sort of getting over the responsibility of having to manage a team.
The deeper you go, the more you can own your niche.
So I would say number one rule, go with your gut.
Top 3 mantras that you try and live by.
Look, I only have one, and it's by a man called Horace Mann, or Man. It's be ashamed to die until you've won some victory for humanity. So that's what I'm always on about. And it really speaks to me, to my sort of service orientation. I believe I exist to serve. And in terms of my leadership, in terms of my work with entrepreneurs, I'm always trying to figure out how can I be of service.
One of my mantras, which sounds so hilarious, but I'm just going to go with it, is I love money and money loves me. It's what I got from the book. It's just something that whenever I'm feeling stressed about money, I just say it out loud. I feel like an idiot, but it just kind of shakes up my vibe. It shakes up my mood, and I just kind of move on. Another one is imperfectly perfect, which is just about recognizing that there is no such thing as perfection, and you will just continue to be growing and changing, and you'll never be perfect, but that's how you're meant to be. And I guess the third one would probably be this too will pass. Because I am someone that is incredibly emotional, incredibly sensitive, and I have struggled a lot with depression and anxiety in my life, and which is not something that I'm ever shy about talking about. But sometimes the world could be perfect, and my brain tries to tell me that the sky is falling, and I just have to remind myself that this will pass. This mood, this day, this challenge, it will pass.
I've already mentioned one, and that's focus on what you can change and navigate the rest. If you can spend a lot of energy trying to change something you can't at that point, it seems a bit silly. So find your way around it and make your own way. The other one, in terms of a lot of people, they're held up making something perfect. 95%. Let it go. Put it out there. If you go for perfection, somebody else is going to come along with an inferior product, but they'll be first to market. Yeah. They'll take the space you're after. And yours, you'll be sitting on the sidelines going, yeah, but mine's better. Mine's perfect.
Yeah, no one will care.
No one will care, because you're down like that. And again, as I said before, trust your gut. With experience, your gut will get better. So trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
You might look back and think, oh, I missed a couple of opportunities. Or at the time, you might think, oh, I missed that opportunity. But 10 years later, those people are, not where they said they'd be, or they're in court.
Yeah.
You're thinking, I'm glad I didn't go with him.
Yeah. Awesome. Trust your gut.
My personal view is you should start doing exactly what you want to do. Not what society tells you to do, not what the other influencers tell you to do, like read 100 books, get up at 5 a.m., do yoga, which they're all good things. But if you're setting yourself up to fail with those things, you're probably not going to be a success because you're not going to follow through with those things. So my insight for those is, how about you start setting up your own personal mantras that work for you, that are aligned with you, rather than taking something of somebody else's that works for them. Start to come up with what works for you.
Decide on success.
Love it.
And just take the first few steps, and it'll just keep going. It's just like exercise. Sometimes you don't want to do the first minute, and then once you start, it gets easier and easier.
It always feels good at the end.
Okay, the first one is don't look back. So, which isn't to say you shouldn't look briefly back and examine your mistakes, but you should just always look forward and look for solutions rather than analysing the problem to death and hit yourself for it.
Yeah.
You have to move forward.
Love it. Second one?
Second one is a question that I am always asking myself is there a better way to do this?
Love it. Yeah. So trying to find just more optimal ways, or in some cases just taking out steps, I would say. Sometimes we complicate things too much as well.
Yes, we do. And I think you have to review as well. It's a bit like finding tools online. There any new one, but if you don't have another look at the situation in 12 months' time, you could be missing something. So is there a better way to do this now than there was last year? Is there a better tool? Is there something faster, more efficient?
And the third one?
Third one would be I'm very big on putting things in perspective, and I think this is very important for business owners to do this because it is quite stressful sometimes. And I think every time you encounter a problem, you have to step back and say, where does this problem fit in the scheme of life? There's a war going on here. There are X number of people in a refugee camp here in utter misery. Where does my problem fit
into that?
Life? And I think that being able to do that helps you, gives you a bit of strength and helps you move forward when you realise that there are definitely millions of people worse off than you.
Yeah. So again, I touched on a few of them during the podcast, but Dad's always told me that, if you put your mind to something and you really believe it, doesn't matter what it is, you'll either go mad or it'll happen for you. It's one of the two things, probably three things. You'll either die, you'll go mad, or it's going to happen.
It'll happen.
You'll put 100% of your work into it, and it will happen. It's just, some things come easier to some people and some people have to put more work in. But at the end of the day, if you're willing to put the work in, I think you'll always reap the rewards. It's not much of a mantra, but it's something I try to live by and, work with in the back of my mind. So that'll be one. The second one is I find that just the whole sense of karma, like putting good things out into the universe, they always come back to you. I think you might do one thing one day to, reap immediate rewards, but it probably won't help you down the line. I think you got to be thinking about the bigger picture. You might do some free work, free dem for someone, and free marketing for someone here, and you don't see immediate results. But I think that sort of stuff always comes back to you further down the line. Karma, it's a big thing. I think you put good energy out there and it always finds its way back to you.